Hey guys, welcome back. Good morning. It's early here, but I just saw a video that Tested posted where Frank Ippolito made a mechanical hand out of clear acrylic, and he gave me a shout out in this video. Which, if you guys are watching this, thank you, Frank. Thank you, Tested, for including me in this one. I was pretty excited to work on this. A few months back, Frank had asked me to do up the drawings for this hand so that he could cut them on his laser cutter, not a laser printer, laser cutter. And I had posted a video on Instagram. I don't know if any of you follow me there or not, but it's I think it's my most highly viewed video on Instagram. It's just a video of that hand while I was working on it, just moving. It's pretty cool. But anyway, the way that I did that is I took all of these notes on all the pieces of the hands. I measured everything, wrote down all the measurements for all the weird little holes and things, and got it as close as I could. Apparently he had to make a few little adjustments, and he had to do 2 iterations of his own to get it to where it was perfect. But I did the base work for that. And basically what I did is, since the parts were the same, so if you look at the hand, he mentions this in the video, there's the dimensions for this part are basically here. That's this guy, and then these are the dimensions for the fingers, the basic dimensions for the height, and then the shapes on the ends of each digit. And then you can see I have a cutaway here, and each of those pieces are different lengths. So what I would do is I drew up the ends, the right shapes, and then the hole placements, which are the same on all the fingers. And then I would take and select all of this and slide it to match the dimensions, the length dimensions that I needed. So that was the trick, is I just basically drew the first one, had all my dimensions, and I basically made little rectangles with each of the proper dimensions for the fingers, and then I would scale and save out a set for each one. And same here. The only ones where I actually brought the photographs into the 3D program was for the back of the hand here, because it's a slightly odd shape. There's no straight lines, and I took one measurement off the bottom, so I had a reference point, and then I took a photo, brought the photo into 3D Studio Max, and scaled it to match, so that I had a place to work from. Now, I actually drew these in 3D Studio Max because I figured I could extrude up all these parts and make a 3D printable version that you could print the pieces out and then use them that way and basically be the exact same parts. So I still plan on doing that eventually. I won't be able to do it for probably December at the soonest, but I do want to talk to Frank and see which parts he adjusted first, and find out where, if I made mistakes or if he just adjusted them so that it would work better. I don't know exactly what the deal is with that, but I'll check and see. Let me turn the camera around here, and we'll look at sort of what this looks like on screen in 3D Studio Max. So here are the parts in 3D Studio Max. I've got all of the finger digits, and what I did is I added little letters to each of the fingers so that it'd be easier to figure out what goes where, because these parts look very, very similar. And by doing that, it's just I think on the laser cutter, it doesn't cut this all the way through. It just etches it in the surface, so it makes it easy to identify. The other part that I used a photo for, I believe, were the sides, where I took the measurements and I knew the dimensions, but I brought in a photo. So here's kind of how the photo works. I can hide this here, and you can see there's all the holes pre-cut. And it's just scaled, and you just draw right over. And I knew the dimensions of the holes, so I just made sure to copy them all into the right places. And then here's kind of how I measured out some of the dimensions for the other parts. This is part of the wrist, and I knew all the hole dimensions, had them all written out, distributed them the way that I had measured as closely as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much how I did it. And then I exported all of the line art I did in 3D Studio Max to an Adobe Illustrator file, and I think that's his preferred format for the laser cutter. So it worked pretty nice. Anyway, I have to get back to work now. I'm in the middle of a bunch of stuff, but I figured I would share this while it's still current, and maybe give some insight as to how this worked on my end. I'll put a link to his video down below. It's really cool. I've been looking forward to seeing it completed for a while. So it was good to see that. Here are the dimensions again, and I'll talk to him about the 3D files. I'm sure he won't mind if I put them up there. I think this is one that I will post. I know you guys hate me for not posting all my files, but this is probably one that I would post up as a project file for people if they wanted to work on it. So yeah, anyway, thanks for stopping by, and links below for the tested video. And thanks again. I'll see you guys soon.